What about the hiring process? So say you're going to apply to a company. You've done the application and they're going to have an interview with you. Has anybody been in that situation where it's been more than one person interviewing? It's always been a panel?
It's always been one person for me.
Okay. About you? Oh, you made your own. What about for you?
We have one person out of the panel.
Okay. Anybody? How about you?
Just one.
Wow. How long ago was this?
4 or so years.
And that would be a summer job, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you?
8 years.
Okay. And what job was it?
Or just get a job at a restaurant.
Okay. That's normal. That's quite normal. When you're in industry, yeah.
I was in a couple of interviews. There were one from HR and one from the field that they're going to work in.
Okay.
So it was engineering. So there was
Mhm.
one person from HR and one from the engineering, mechanical engineering.
Probably the managing,
Yeah,
the person that would be your
yeah,
manager.
yeah.
So I'm going to give you some scenarios of what I've seen out there. So one company, and by the way, we have a social media workshop coming up. I brought it on purpose. Using social media to gain employment opportunities on Wednesday, February 26th. And the very first thing that all companies are doing now, and when I say all, I mean if you're not, you're behind the times. They are Googling your name. They are looking at Facebook. They are looking at LinkedIn. They are looking at tweets. And they are looking at blogs. And they are screening you to the nth degree. It used to be when I was younger, and you submitted a resume, they would look at the resume and go, oh, this sounds wonderful, bring them in, we want to have a conversation with them, sounds like the perfect candidate, and they do that with every candidate they got. Nowadays, because of the number of resumes that are being submitted, now they're saying, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying. Bring them in here to prove they're lying, right? So they will screen you first with social media. Then, if you pass that, they will pick up the phone and a junior HR person will speak with you over the phone and ask you 1 to 5 questions. If you pass that, you will move on to the senior HR person who will gruelingly eliminate you. Because remember, time is money. And every minute they give a candidate that is not a perfect candidate is wasting money. So they are going to be excruciatingly hard on you. Then if you pass that, you meet the manager that would be your manager. And if you pass that, you meet one of the partners. There's 7 of them. So it could be the president or any of the VPs underneath. Okay? And that is a go. By the time the president or one of the partners meets you, they figure, well, everybody else likes you, so now it's just a formality. I want you to know that we're a company that you know who the president is or whatever. That's one. I've had students tell me about interviews they've had. One in particular was very interesting, and it never went anywhere. So I'm curious, but I think it might have been a test. He went to a job fair, career fair, here on campus, and one of them said, "We're very interested. We'd like to put you through a videotaped interview, asking 10 questions, and we'd like you to dress as if you're in a face-to-face interview, and answer these questions. And we have a format that we want you to answer in." And we do that in preparing for interviews. And the format is basically, I call it CARS or STARS. CARS is circumstance, action, result. STAR is situation or task, action, result. And you get 3 minutes to answer any question, and no longer, because if you're going longer than 3 minutes, you're not using that format, and you're babbling. Could be because you're nervous, who knows? But you're babbling, and now it's very difficult for the person interviewing you. So he did this, and interestingly enough, on the videotape when they were preparing him, they said you have 3 minutes for each question. And then you just get cut off. So, but it never went anywhere for him. I did ask him, and he's working now anyway. He got a different job. But it never went anywhere with that company. They didn't even follow up with him, so which I thought, they're testing this service and to see if it's going to work. I don't know whether they liked it or not. Another way is, I know students who have had to spend a day at a downtown oil and gas company doing a number of things. So the interviews were part of that, and you'd go to different people, but they also had technical interviews. They had a lunch. This is more like what it's like in academia as well, although they put you through that for a week. And you'll probably be the only person in a suit being interviewed by students and professors that you have to make happy in everything you do. So if you're not familiar with how proper, what the proper etiquette is when you're having a lunch with somebody, conversations that can be had at the table, that type of thing, that's another thing you can work on with me, because it's really important. And if you're from a different culture, you might not even know where the settings should be, or which setting to use for what meal. Sometimes it's just an informal luncheon anyway, grab a sandwich, sit down, that type of thing. They've had group interviews, so instead of having a number of people on a panel, we've got 30 students in front of us that we're going to pick 10 from to do some work here in the summertime. So they've done that as well. And they will get you in teams so that they can see how you work in a team. So there's a number of ways to be interviewed.